Hey, what's going on YouTube? So I wanted to do my final prediction of the week, which is the ACC Championship game, Clemson and North Carolina. So start with my 3 keys for Clemson. First one is get Wayne Gallman 15 plus carries. So he's been a pretty solid back this year. I don't think he has I don't know if he has 10 touchdowns yet or not on the year, but had over 100 yards last week. He's averaging over 5 yards per carry this year. He's a solid back, good compliment to Deshaun Watson, his dual threat ability. So, limit the amount that Deshaun Watson's going to be touching the ball. I mean, obviously you don't want him to get hit too much, basically. So, balance the offense, control the ball for a little bit, keep it out of the hands of a very good North Carolina offense. All right, second one is Deshaun Watson. I'd say 1 turnover max. Like I said, this is a North Carolina team that can score and score quickly. Like you need to take advantage of the opportunities you get. He was very good last week. I'm not sure if I don't think he fumbled. I don't think he turned the ball over at all. 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing. Had a very solid finish to the season. It might be the odds-on favorite for the Heisman right now. Third one is get 2+ sacks. This is going to be cruel. Is going to be very, very key considering you've got a quarterback for North Carolina that is also a very good athletic quarterback, has a dual threat ability in Marquise Williams. They're going to run the option a little bit. Again, another team that has a solid back and a solid quarterback. And I mean, Clemson's been a really good defense this year, so let Shaq Lawson do his thing, and yeah, try to get to the quarterback. It looks like they're wearing a little bit thin on the defensive line and at outside linebacker. They have a few injuries, but really hasn't slowed them down too much. Now, my 3 keys for North Carolina. First one is give Ryan Switzer the ball. This is obvious. He might be one of the best players. Well, he is one of the best players in the ACC. I believe tied the FBS record for punt returns for touchdown. This is another thing for Clemson. Limit the amount of times you punt the ball, or punt it away from him, just because he's a great punt returner. He's a great kick returner. He's a great wide receiver. He's just very, very fast and slippery. So, in North Carolina, that means handing it off to him, jet sweeps, screens, whatever, get him the ball. Second one is get Elijah Hood 20+ carries. So Elijah Hood had over 200 yards last week and 2 touchdowns. He's been very good this year, especially finished off the season very well. Now, like I said, this is an offense that has been putting up points in bunches. Duke, 66 points. Miami, I think it was 56, 59. Even against a pretty good Virginia Tech defense, they still scored 30, which isn't great, but isn't bad. Had a few lower scoring games against Virginia and Pitt, but even jumped back to the game before that against Wake Forest, put up 50. So, this is a team that can score a lot and very quickly. They need to utilize all their weapons like they have in the last few games. And then the third one is limit turnovers. So, Marquise Williams has been a little bit of a wild card through his career with turnovers. He's been prone to picks at certain points. He's fumbled. He's been, at the end of the year, though, he's been pretty good about not turning the ball over. Last game against NC State, they actually did turn the ball over quite a bit. They were pretty lucky that they actually came away with the win. They turned it over 3 times. NC State only turned it over once. Marquise Williams threw a pick. I think he fumbled too. So, you just got to limit the turnovers. You can't give Clemson extra chances to win the game. So, moving my prediction, like I said, I think this is going to be a fantastic game this week. Features 2 really, really good teams that have looked really good at the end of the season, minus the Clemson and Virginia, or minus the South Carolina game for Clemson and the Virginia Tech game for North Carolina. So I think both teams are still, obviously Clemson is, both teams are still very much alive in the playoff. I really think that if North Carolina wins, they should get in over Ohio State or Stanford if they win. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Clemson. Like I said, I think it's going to be a very close game. I think it is a winnable game for North Carolina too, but I do think Clemson has a better chance of winning. I think they're the overall better team. They're much better on defense than North Carolina. North Carolina's not terrible on defense, but they're also not great. Normally they're a defensive-heavy team, and this year that's just not the case. So, like I said, should be a fantastic game. Very much looking forward to this week in college football. This pretty much concludes my individual game predictions for the week. And really my last one before the bowl games come around, I guess, outside of the Army-Navy game. So, yeah. Looking forward to a fun weekend in college football again. When this should shape up the playoff picture in at least a couple of the games. Obviously, the Michigan State-Iowa game will be. Or it will, but yeah, that's pretty much it.